What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another NBA Rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Bets and Run Pure Sports. Thank you for taking some time out of your March Madness viewing to hang out with us. And I have the prop whisperer with me here today. Tyler, how we doing?
We're good. We hit that Randall triple double and we hit that under, so let's keep the winning going.
Right, and I told you before we went on, right? So I couldn't get the triple double, so I did the points, rebounds, assist. He's at 41 with like 6 minutes to go. Only, and it was over 44 and a half. Only 44 with a minute to go. Fortunately, he snuck in there a free throw with me, got me the over there, which was quite nice because the rest of the game didn't go over, and so my daily pick busted out. Hoop busted out on his as well, but you were there with two winners. So we're even on the day, but that's not good enough. We're going to do even better today. So let's jump straight into this card. Let's start with my team. Boy, we should have brought Mangone on for this killer matchup of the Sacramento Kings, 16 and 24, heading to Boston to take on the Celtics. The Celtics are favored by 7. Totals 233, a little low for a Kings game, but we know the Celtics move at a somewhat slower pace. Tyler, what do you think? Am I crazy here for taking my team, grabbing the 7 points? Celtics struggling a little bit. Boy, they fell apart against Utah the other night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. We've seen this Boston team play down the competition. My only worry is your Sacramento team doesn't play much defense. And with all of Boston's guys mainly back on that backcourt, I mean, they're really only missing Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them just hanging points left and right and them breaking 135 points today. I love Tatum to score 25 plus. You can get him 25 plus and Boston wins at like plus 130 on FanDuel. I don't mind that. And then I like the game to go over here.
All right. Darren Fox averaging over 30 points a game the last 5 games. Do you like him to continue to do well against Kemba Walker? Or do you think maybe he'll see some Marcus Smart here and get slowed down?
I think he sees some Marcus Smart after he torches Kemba for a little bit. That's my only concern. They'll put Kemba on him to start. He'll have like 15 points in the first, and then he'll be like, all right, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a tough matchup for Kemba at any point in his career, but at this point where he's definitely slowing down, dealing with some knee tendonitis, going against De'Aaron Fox, who's arguably the fastest person in the league. I think he is. He reminds me of old Russ there when Russ was in his prime. So should be a tough matchup. But to get it straight, I like the Kings to cover the 7, and you think Boston runs away with it?
Yeah, I think Boston has blow up potential here.
Blowout potential here. So we'll keep that in mind for those making lineups. Now, Tyler and I are much more the amateurs and just giving you kind of like our betting experience on making these lineups. But because people have been, kind of getting used to hearing some DFS advice, are any of these guys going to go in your lineup today from this game?
I might play some Tatum. I mean, Ojale is going to start and he's 3K, so I wouldn't mind that.
All right.
But I mean, other than that, just those two guys.
What's Fox priced at now? Like 9,500?
Yeah, he's got to be right around 9K, somewhere up in there.
Yeah, let me see if I can. I mean,
Yeah,
he's good money. 9,100 on DraftKings, 9,200 on FanDuel. Rashawn Holmes, boy, they're definitely uh, pivoting or whatever. 7,100 for him, and so that's kind of almost taking him out of the value. Although this should be a good matchup. And Buddy Hield's at 6,400. I think he's got the tournament potential upside, but I don't trust Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're on opposite sides of that game. I shouldn't even be giving you leans on the totals, but I always like overs in Kings games. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I like the over here. I mean, no defense really played. We've seen Kings games touch the 250s. And this Boston team, if they get hot from behind the arc, they can just hang points left and right. So I'd lean over.
All right. Well, we both like the over there. Not sure if that's a good sign if you're on the same side as me on a total, Tyler, as my totals were not the best this week. The Spurs and the Cavaliers, they will be playing in Cleveland. The Cavaliers coming off, what was that? A pretty big win, right? Didn't
Yeah.
they get an upset? Let me pull this up right now. That was over Boston, 117 to 110. Snapped the 4-game losing streak. What I'm seeing with this Cavaliers team is they need both those guys in the backcourt. They're all right when they have both Garland and Sexton in there. When there's only one player and they can kind of focus on either one in the backcourt. it becomes a problem for Cleveland. One good thing going on with Cleveland is the play of their draft pick Isaac Okoro, who has been scoring as of late, and he always draws the best defenders. So for the number 5 pick, he's really coming around. He had 15 in the win over Boston the other night, and he scored in double figures for 10 of his last 18 games. I think this is a tough game to cap here with the Spurs. Looking at the injury report, do we have a lot here in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're still going to be without DeRozan on one side.
Here we go. So Aldridge is out. I don't think he's ever coming back with the news of the impending buyout. DeRozan's still out, which is big. Bates Diop, we talked about yesterday, is not really being a factor at all. And on the Cleveland side, Taurean Prince is out, the man who got Kevin Porter Jr. Out of town by daring to actually have a locker in the locker room. Andre Drummond's still sitting, Matthew Dellavedova is still sitting, and Kevin Love is still out. So, although that seems like a lot, they've been playing without those guys for a while. 4 points here, Tyler. What are you thinking? I think this is a tough game to handicap.
I mean, at 4, it's probably just to stay away from me. It opened at 1.5, and I would have been all over the Spurs there because you're basically just picking the winner. But I mean,
opened at 1.5.
Yeah, I seen it at 1.5 last night on FanDuel.
Why did I go to bed so early?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be one of 2 barn burner games on this schedule, I think. And this is
so obviously we're not going to be the best at giving out the DFS plays, but anyone that Tyler gives an over on for the props, you got to think is alive for DFS. So did you have any props for this game?
No, not really. I mean, we know how Spurs guys are. They eat into each other's production.
Right.
And then on the Cleveland side, it's like Sexton scores a lot of points, but he doesn't do much of anything else.
Right.
Drummond's not there to grab you a ton of rebounds and score you 15 points. So, I mean, really the only guy I'd look at is Jared Allen. But, I mean, at that point, you're basically capping yourself at like 15 points, 15 rebounds.
Yeah, I still don't know why they benched Drummond when they didn't have like an impending move for him. Really seems to be the beginning of their slump. There was when Drummond went out of the lineup. So that was disappointing there for the team. So yeah, neither of us really have strong leans on this game. I mean, I guess I would lean towards taking Cleveland, but I don't want a Cleveland ticket in my pocket, especially going against a solid, well-coached Spurs team. This next game, I'm actually more interested in getting involved in. The Indiana Pacers are 17-22, 15-24 against the spread, going against the Miami Heat, 22-19, 18-22 against the spread. The Pacers 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games on the road. The Heat are 11-2 over the last 13 games, and they've only failed to cover in 4 of those games. So they are 9-4 against the spread in their last 13. And now they're at home taking on an Indiana team that has been struggling, but has Karis LeVert back for an extra scoring option. What are you thinking for this game, Tyler? Do you like the home team Heat?
Yeah, I like the home team here. Give me the Heat. I mean, the Pacers seem like they're still integrating LeVert into their system, so which is going to take a week or two. So, I mean, if Miami's got Bam back in this spot, I think this is a smash spot for Miami. I think they can run away with this game and win it by 10 points.
All right, and there was a prop that you had me bet before we went on the air. Do you want to let everyone know what your prop for this game is?
Yeah, that was Jimmy Butler over 24.5 points. He's topped it in 7 of his last 8. Indiana's given up around 26 points to opposing small forwards, and he scores a ton of points at the free throw line. And Indiana ranks at 26th in free throw rate allowed. So he should be at the line all game.
All right, and you're not worried about the Bam usage cutting into that?
Nope.
All right, I got it placed. I am with you. That seems like a great play. I lean towards Miami as well here. Boy, this Pacers team, they looked so good earlier in the year, and they just haven't been able to get it together. I think that they will be able to get it together, but I just don't think that this is the spot tonight. I like Miami on as a short favorite here. This next game is a game that we had disagreed about, and it's the Utah Jazz, who are in the middle of a road trip where they're struggling a bit. They just lost to the Wizards. That was rough for them. The game went over the total of 240.5, and they're taking on the Toronto Raptors. Now, Let's go ahead and check out the injury news for the Raptors. Are we getting some of these guys back tonight,
I think
Tyler?
the only guy on the injury report for them is OG Anunoby, and he's probable. All the other guys are in.
Right. Now, Siakam made his debut or his first comeback game, right? And he wasn't very good last night. Do you think he's, yeah, I don't see anyone on there. I see Conley as probable and OG Anunoby. Um, what do you think of this game here, and what do you think of these guys coming back? A little worrisome if you heard his post game quotes that he really didn't feel good, felt thinner, and felt like he had a lack of wind here. Do you think Siakam turns it around pretty quickly, or are you all over Utah here to just run it?
I think this is a spot where Utah gets right. I think that 5 short. I mean, we've seen Utah stumble here after they were just blowing teams out, and we were seeing spreads of like 10 to 12 points every game.
Yeah.
Now you catch a 5 against a Toronto team with 5 guys coming back off of COVID that they definitely had because they were out for almost 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you said Siakam played bad. I mean, looking at their box score, Fred VanVleet played 12 minutes. He shot 2 for 13, 1 from 7 from 3. And who was our other guy out at that time?
VanVleet, Anunoby, Siakam, McCaw, and
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think McCaw played in that game.
yeah,
He
I
did.
don't think he plays that much to begin
So,
with.
I mean, I don't think them guys are ready yet. I think it's going to take a little bit more time for them to get like reconditioned.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think this is a Utah spot to catch them at a short number.
All right, and you made some great points, and I actually didn't play this number. I just leaned towards Toronto in the points here. I think Utah's tired here at the end of a trip, and I think the second game back they should feel a lot better. These Toronto players, um, and of course you still have Lowry and Norman Powell. What do you think about Norman Powell? Because he's been basically a DFS darling. Um, People pivoted away from him last night, and he still got the job done with the other players struggling. Would you be looking at putting him in a lineup or going over on his points total tonight?
I would rather go over on his points total than play him in DFS
Mm-hmm.
because, I mean, yeah, he gave you a gift 2 nights ago, but he scored you 43 points and he didn't do a single thing else. He didn't get you 1 assist. He didn't get you 1 rebound. So, yeah, he hit his value, but he's going to need to score you 40 again to do it again. So I don't think he's going to do that. So I'd rather just.
What about a points prop here, though?
Yeah, I'd rather bet his points prop over. If we can catch it at right below like 23.5, I'd be all over it. Anything above that, though, it's a stay away.
Let me see what the books are currently hanging for Norman Powell. Is he not on here? You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I mean, they might have did that too since he's moved back to the bench. Books will take him off.
They took him off. They took him off, Tyler.
I've been waiting for Boucher's props all year, and they still won't put him up.
Yeah, I don't see a Boucher either. All right, so there we go. No Norman Powell over for us unless you have a better book. I could have checked Bet Online. I usually use Bookmaker for these. Maybe Bet Online or Bovada has them. So I'll look into that while we're talking about some other games. So we're on different sides there, but you seem like you are much more feeling your side than me. It was almost just like a default for me to take a tough playing Toronto team that's well coached, grabbing 5. And I'm assuming that we get a little bit of more game shape back tonight, as they work their ways back into shape. Because boy, this Toronto team's been tough, right? I mean, they started 0-5. They obviously had problems adjusting to Tampa as their home. Then they go on that run. Now they do that COVID thing. They're sitting here at 17-23. They're going to need to get some wins here and quickly. So they're going to be a team definitely to keep an eye on as this second half evolves. 2 teams that we probably won't be keeping an eye on, but we need to talk about them because they're on the slate. Detroit Pistons 11-29, 20-17 against the spread, going against the Houston Rockets that are 11-28, 12-27 against the spread. So what does that tell you just by listening to those numbers I just read? Detroit loses, but they don't get blown out. Houston loses, but they get the doors blown off them. So those are the 2 differences in this team. So this seems like it would be an easy Detroit smash spot, right? Not so fast. Houston's starting to get everybody back. Christian Wood made his debut. He had 21 and 9 in like 25 minutes. So
Yep.
he was definitely effective on his debut back. Oladipo's obviously still there. What did we decide about John Wall? Did we get official news for John Wall?
Let me see. Pull him up. I still see
I see
questionable.
questionable. Yeah. Let's assume John Wall's back. Who do you like in that game? And do you think that we are going to like I was talking about before the show started, issues between Kevin Porter Jr. kind of having to defer to these older guys when he might be the best option to create off the dribble in the half court set?
I mean, I think the only guys he would have to defer to would be Depot and Wood. I think Wall would just go into that facilitator role and just move the ball around, try and be the floor general.
That would be nice for him.
So, I mean, I still think Kevin Porter gets his shots. And then you look at on the other side, it's really Grant versus those couple guys. So I'd have to say this is where Houston finally gets right and wins a game.
Hey, and that's a bold prediction. I kind of like Detroit here because I'm a little worried about the chemistry issues. But boy, it's really hard to back Detroit, right?
This is just the battle of the bad teams. Like,
yeah, yeah, it definitely is. I'm not trying to see if we have props on any of these guys. Um, so here's one that I was looking at, Tyler. Sadiq Bey over 13 and a half points. He's been on fire lately, really living up to his draft spot and his draft potential. What do you think about if I played an over on Sadiq Bey?
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that look. I need to know if Wall's going to be in or not, though. He's one of the better defending perimeter guards. If he
You
can
think
stay in
so? I
front
don't
of.
like his defense that much.
When he was healthy, when he first got to Houston, his defense was great. I mean, we were talking about that backcourt as like one of the better defending backcourts. And then they both get
Yeah,
hurt.
but that was more off Gordon and Oladipo at the point of attack, and then you allow Wall to roam the passing lanes.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the only problem is like Sadiq Bey is just one of them guys. Like he's either gonna come out and just torch him up, or he's gonna come out and you're just never gonna hear his name called in the game. Like he's not
Right.
like a high usage guy.
He's not. It is kind of dependent on it. So right. So if you bet Bay points over on Monday, like Landa did, right, you're quite upset. But then on Wednesday he drops 28, and he had 12 rebounds. So um, really tough to see where he's going there. All right, Tyler. So in this battle of the last place teams, this could actually decide who gets more ping pong balls. Do they still even do that? Ping pong balls for the lottery? But who is in the best spot for number one pick here? Who are you taking in this battle of the losers? You're on Houston, huh?
Yeah, give me Houston. Give
All
me
right.
Houston and Christian Wood's quote unquote revenge game.
And I know I haven't had the best luck on totals here, but 214.5. Do we go under here?
I go over.
Over, huh?
I just
All
think
right.
it's just these bad teams playing each other. I mean, we're not going to see much defense. If they can put the ball in the hoop at an average rate, they should go over that 214.
Yeah, Cleveland averaging I'm not Cleveland. Cleveland does. I don't know why I said that. But Pistons are averaging 107 points per game. The Rockets 107 points per game. So the 214 total seems like they didn't spend a lot of time to go ahead and throw that total up there. Seems about right on that one. Let's jump into this next game where, gosh, I don't know why, Tyler. Why do I want to keep grabbing the points with the Magic? What is wrong with me? The Brooklyn Nets are 28 and 13. They're laying 10.5 in Orlando to this Magic team that I bet the over on last night, and they couldn't score. Hoop was on talking about he doesn't like college basketball. Well, he would have hated that game because it looked like college last night with all the open shots just caroming off the rim, going everywhere. It was terrible to watch. It was terrible to have an over, and just not a fun game overall. Now they're grabbing 10.5 against what I think is the best team in the East. Or what do you think here? And would I be crazy if I took Orlando again?
Best team in the East. I'll one up you. Best team in the NBA right now, spread.
Oh, I like it. That's a hot. Actually, not with AD out. I don't know if that's even really a hot take.
I mean, they got
Utah's
KD
been
out,
falling
so
off a
it's
little
like
bit. Yeah,
you just kind of balance
yeah,
it out.
yeah.
But I mean, looking at this injury report, I see Ross questionable, Michael Carter Williams questionable, James Ennis questionable, Aaron Gordon doubtful. So I mean, there's four guys right there that play minutes for this team. But all four get 15 to 20 minutes run, some more, and they're not going to have any four of those guys likely. So this is going to be Fournier and Vucevic versus the Nets.
And Fournier struggled last night.
Yeah,
He
Fournier,
really
he doesn't
struggled.
look good. He looks like he's still hurt.
Yeah, I really blamed him for not hitting the over. He missed so many open
What's
shots.
the number on this game right now?
For the total or the spread?
The spread.
Plus 10.5.
Okay, so it's went up 2 points at the opening of 8. So I mean, at the double digits, I'd probably just stay away from the spread.
Mm-hmm.
I love Kyrie to go off today if he plays.
If he plays, so
Yeah,
ridiculous with that guy, right?
it's like if he plays, because Harden's your new point guard now, so he draws Chase on Randall likely, which means Fournier's got to try and guard Kyrie, which he ain't standing a chance. So I mean, he should score 30 plus. I think his points prop right around 26.5.
All right, that might be the best way to attack this game. So I like grabbing the points with Orlando. Boy, that's tough to do.
Our guy Gary in the chat just says Rudy Gobert is downgraded to questionable. So there's why that number's so short.
In the Toronto game?
Yep. I had a feeling one of those guys was going to sit, but when you look back at like the games they played back to backs, Mitchell sat 1. So it was like I thought maybe they'd all play, but looks like Gobert is going to sit.
You know what's funny? And if he does, you're going to be able to see how reliant that Jazz team is on his rim protection.
Yeah, like
because once he's out, you see how much they get beat at the point of attack off the dribble.
I love that people are like, he's a waste of money. It's like you just don't realize how much he changes the game when he's standing under that hoop.
Because like Ingles, Bogdanovic, like even Conley at this point, they're not really that good at one-on-one stopping the point of attack. You know. So who you'll get? Derek Favors is not bad, right? He'll most likely start at center then if he
maybe Tony Bradley starts at center. Or no, my Tony Bradley's on Philly now.
Tony Bradley's on the Sixers now, right?
I had him mixed up.
Yeah. Boy, Derek Favors would actually be an interesting DFS look if Gobert sits. So we'll double back to that game and see if we get any before the end. But you like Kyrie Irving over. I like the Magic plus 10.5. What is wrong with me, Tyler? Oh my gosh, this back pain's really getting to me if I'm taking these points. We already talked about the Jazz and the Raptors, right? Let's talk about the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Another one where injury news has pretty much made this one unwatchable. Looks like Steph's going to be out. Oubre's going to be out. Wiseman's
Pascal's out.
Pascal's out. What is going on with this Warriors team? I thought they actually cared about winning here.
Well, 2 of those guys are health and safety protocols. Oubre's dealing with a right foot injury, and then Steph's got that tailbone injury you got.
Yeah, actually, I guess it's not as bad. So Wiseman and Pascal for sure. Oubre and Steph doubtful. I don't know. I don't know if the Bay Area is ready for Andrew Wiggins' season. What do you think?
I mean, he's going to get every shot he wants tonight. He's going to be their
I
star.
don't know.
Him and Draymond.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a good idea. What do we do in Northern California to deserve this?
I mean, looking at this game, this is a complete stay away from me. I mean, I don't want to back Memphis at the high number because they've seen them the other day come out against OKC and lay a dud when they were -5.5, and OKC was missing 4 of their 5 starters.
On that Sunday morning game?
Yep.
It's so weird how certain losses just roll right off your back, and then others, like, you just won't let go.
They just stick to you.
That was one of them. Another one was the Bulls blowing all those covers 2 weeks ago.
The only thing I wouldn't mind in that Golden State-Memphis game is an under on the total.
221 right now?
Yeah. Because, I mean, this could be an ugly game from the Golden State side, and Memphis can lock down on defense, and Golden State has been playing good defense all year. So, I mean, it's definitely an under spot I'd look at.
Going against Looney and nobody, do we want to look at Valanciunas props, maybe even the rebounds?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. I wouldn't even mind Looney props because he's going to be one of the only big men under the hoop. I mean, we know Draymond's basically a point forward.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think that's my favorite look in this game is Valanciunas props. Let me pull it up and see if they're going to.
I'd say his rebounds got 12.5.
Yeah, I was going to say they're not going to let us off cheap here, right? I mean, we're definitely going to have to pay for it. Over 15.5 points for Valanciunas. Over 12.5 rebounds. What do you think about either of those?
Those are such high numbers. I'd lean more to the rebounds over the points. But I think there's other spots on the board we can find that are better.
All right, yeah, they might have priced those appropriately. I definitely wouldn't want to be on the unders there, though, right?
No.
So definitely a consideration to keep in mind. I mean, gosh, I could see him.
One more
It's
game I want to double back on before we keep going.
yeah.
DeMar DeRozan is going to play today, so I would back the Spurs.
He switched to in.
It says playing Friday, personal reasons.
Yeah, I just saw that when I refreshed. Wow. Things change. That's why watching their show in the evening is so much fun as we get the news and we have to completely change these lineups or maybe waiting on bets there. So that was going back to the Spurs Cavaliers game. Let's see how much the line changed with that move. It was 4 when we discussed it earlier. Now DeRozan has been ruled in. He's
My
worth
guess is
one
it goes,
point.
yeah,
It's
he's got to go up to
-5.
5. James Ennis rolled out for Magic.
Hmm. I don't think
And
that moves the line.
the other couple guys, Ross, Carter Williams, questionable still.
All
Fournier,
right.
probable.
If Fournier doesn't play, they're toast.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. So a little more interest in the Spurs now that they are -5. We both think the Warriors and the Grizzlies is a tough game. They seem to have priced the injuries for the Warriors correctly. So let's move on to boy. These are two teams. This is going to be a fun game to watch, regardless of the result. I'm talking about the Chicago Bulls, who are 18-21, heading to Denver to take on the Nuggets, who have won 4 of their last 5. They're starting to play well. They are 24-16 now, sneaking up the ranks in the Western Conference standings. You know, if the Clippers and the Lakers don't watch out, the Nuggets are going to steal that spot here. Now, we have the Chicago Bulls team that I mean, they've blown probably as many games that are just like heartbreakingly bad as the rest of the league combined. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, so many games, you know, you read about them just completely dejected in the locker room as they blew another opportunity. You know, they let the other team go on an 11-0 run with 3 minutes to go in the game. It's been nothing. For what has been a good season, right? I mean, that definitely has put a pall over it. And for me, you know, I talked about the ones that stick with me. These Bulls losses have stuck with me, just because they should be winning and they should definitely be covering. You know, like a game like tonight, like I won't be surprised if they're ahead the whole game and then they lose and don't even cover the 7. So you know, I have a soft spot for both these teams. So this is a tough one for me to pick. Tyler, we'll start with you and then I'll bounce off that.
I mean, this Denver team's been rolling 8-2 in their last 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Jokic has a cakewalk matchup tonight with Wendell Carter.
Oh, he's probably the best spend up on the whole thing, huh?
I'd say either him or Luca, because Luca's going to get any shot he wants tonight versus that tired Portland backcourt.
But at least he'll get like Rocco or Derek Jones, right? I mean,
I
who are
mean,
they going to put on
maybe.
Jokic?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the
there's
thing. I
no one
mean,
on the whole
Jokic,
roster.
there's no one for the
There's
Bulls
no
to
one
put
on
on
the whole
Jokic.
roster.
Like, they're going to have Wendell Carter. It's just not, he's not going to stand a chance. So, I mean, I
Uh,
don't mind Jokic's triple double tonight and Denver wins at plus 400. I
I
think
think I
that's
got to
a,
make. I'm going to make a cat A1 stack and a Euro stack with Jokic Luca.
I like that.
Yeah, I just got to go over to Run Pure Sports and get the proper value players to fill that out so I can afford those two studs there. So you like Jokic triple double here, huh?
Yep.
All
FanDuel
right.
does their player performance doubles. They have Jokic triple double / Denver wins the game plus 400.
All right. I love that. I don't have access to it, but I can't argue with the play. Now, if you're just like me and you're slumming on the offshores and you're just picking sides and totals, and I don't have all these exotic props, which way should I be looking, Tyler? Do I lay the 7 or can I grab it with a little baby bulls and get heartbroken again?
I would probably lean taking the Denver side.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't trust teams coming into Denver. And then the Chicago team, of course, with the terrible front court. Like
Uh-huh.
Denver should just eat in this matchup. But would it surprise me, just like you said, if this is one of them games where Chicago's up the whole game and then fourth quarter Denver shows up and wins the game, but Chicago covers late. So, I mean, it's a tough spot. I'd lean more towards the under. I could see this being a slower paced game.
224.5, and you've been money identifying those mid-range totals that I've been staying away from. For example, last night you gave out the Hawks under, and boy, I mean, were you even worried at any point in the game on that? I
I
mean
mean,
that thing trended.
It's the NBA. It's
Yeah,
never
that's
over
true.
till it's
But I mean, it
over.
was trending towards 200 like pretty much the whole game. Like you could have got a 20-point middle on that for most of the game. So that was a great call. So I definitely listen when you're identifying these unders on these spreads that are kind of scary to me. And a 224.5 is definitely scream stay away to me. But if you like it, I will jump in with you. Let's talk about running it back. I mentioned it earlier. The A1 cat stack was definitely in the winning lineups last night as they torched the Suns, but they weren't able to get it done. But A1 and Towns looked good. What was the final score in that game?
I think they stole it by 3 or 4 points. Let me pull it up real quick. I see that game. 123, 119.
All right. So the Timberwolves were able to cover last night. Do you think they're able to cover again tonight?
I don't. I really don't. I think this is the time they get the doors blown off them.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix blew that game late. It's almost like they gave up trying in the fourth quarter. And you look at this Minnesota side.
Which is something I wouldn't expect from Phoenix. Wouldn't you agree? Like that's what
Yeah.
Chris Paul's there for, right?
Well,
To prevent these things.
Josh Okogie was all over Devin Booker in that fourth quarter. He only scored 1 point. So, I mean, you're taking their best scorer out of the game, and it's just like it almost threw their offense into shambles. But I think tonight you see Phoenix come out with a fire lit under their ass. They just take it from start to finish. I think this could be one of the spots where you hit them first quarter, first half, full game, and you get all three of them.
Yeah, I'm looking at props right now. Edwards is 22.5. Towns is 24.5. Are you surprised they're so close?
I mean, they're the only two guys they got. You look at the box score from the game they just won last night.
Uh-huh.
Edwards scored 42 points, and he took 31 shots. Towns scored 41 points. He took 24 shots. The next highest point total was 14. It came off the bench, and that guy took 11 shots. And they won this game by 4. You're telling me that you need them two guys to combine for 80 again and them to have some luck to win this game. And I don't think you're going to get that a second time ago.
I mean, if I tell you that Edwards is going to get 25 shots, though, 22.5 doesn't seem bad, right?
It doesn't. But when you, last game.
He gets those shots again, though.
Oh, yeah, I do. I mean, they have nobody else on offense. If you look at his box scores from when, Beasley got suspended, since it's just been him and Towns, I mean, he has the ultimate green light. They're just letting him shoot the ball as much as he wants.
Hey, you know me. I'm a big Edwards fan. I'm all for it.
At first, you weren't. I remember that at the beginning of the year. I had to
oh no,
warm
I'm
you up to him.
Completely converted. Yeah, I'm completely converted. So he's definitely my favorite rookie. Like obviously Lonzo is better. I still like the Wiseman potential, and we are kind of partial to our steal of the draft here in Sacramento with Tyrese Halliburton. But just for fun and highlights, I mean, Anthony Edwards is the way to go. So I kind of just like the over on the player props there for Edwards and Towns, assuming that they come back. What do you think? Am I being recency bias? Is that a little square?
I mean, not really. They're going to get all the usage in the world tonight. Mm-hmm. I'd rather take the Edwards ones over the Cat ones, just because he's getting more shots and he's just going to fling them from 3. So if they do start falling, he could blow that 22 right out of the water.
Yeah.
But I mean, the look I like tonight, it didn't work for us last night, is Suns first quarter -3.5. I just think you see them come out and just dominate.
I hate laying those 3.5s in the first quarter, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but
it is.
This is just that spot where I think Minnesota's yeah, we won this game last night, letdown spot after a big win, and you got CP3 coming in. He's just going to man that floor. He's going to have 6 assists at the end of the first, and they're going to be up 10.
All right. I mean, yeah. That might be a good look, and we'll see if that ends up being your best bet of the day. Let's talk about the last game of the night, Tyler. The Mavericks heading to Portland to take on the Trailblazers. The Mavericks have been playing quite well lately, and the Trailblazers are coming off. Both of them played last night, right? So we have 2.
I don't think Dallas played last night.
Dallas' last game was the 105-89 victory over the Clippers. I think the Clippers were favored by 2 in that game, and it never looked close at that whole time. The Clippers kept margin the whole time. The the Blazers won both against the Pelicans, right? They won 125 to 124 on Tuesday, and then it was only 101 to 93. So we did not get the zigzag on the side there, but we got it on the total. Only a 194 after a 249. I mean, that just really shows you the variance in the NBA, right? Two teams, same matchup, same arena, only 2 days apart, and we have a 50-point difference in the total. So, yeah, that's something to keep an eye on here. Now the Blazers are catching 3.5 at home. You mentioned earlier you like Luka's matchup against this Trailblazers team that definitely struggles defensively. Talk to me about this game and who you would take.
I mean, I think Dallas has decided to be on here with Portland coming in playing last night. Where I don't think we're going to see CJ McCollum tonight. It shows doubtful rest.
Yeah.
So we're right back
sense,
to the
right?
Portland with Gary Trent plugged into the starting lineup.
Right.
So, I mean, looking at that backcourt, they ain't stopping Luka. I think he could just dominate this game. This could be the 30-point
I think that Covington
triple-double.
and Trent can do well against them, but you don't.
I think they could too, but then it's like, where do you hide the other two guys at? Like, if you hide them on Finney Smith, like, Finney Smith's just going to go to the post.
Right.
Like, you can't, like, one of these guards are going to have to try and check him.
But if I'm coaching, if I'm Terry Stotts, right, and I can convince Dallas to make their offense Finney Smith post ups, isn't that a win for me?
Yeah, I would say it's a win, but if Luka's driving to the hoop right around Rocco or Derek Jones, pulling the defense and kicking it to Finney Smith against a small guy, I mean, you're just going to get torn apart.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I mean that is tough to argue with there. So you like the Mavericks here as the rested road favorite here? Um, I've been having so much problem picking Trailblazers games. Like you look at them on paper and they shouldn't be as good as they are, right?
I think with
I mean, you
McCollum
take
back,
Dame off this team, they're the worst team in the league.
well, I mean, you're taking the star player off. I mean, we take LeBron off the Lakers, they're the worst team in the league.
Right, but we took AD off and they were fine. You see my point? It's
Yeah,
like
it's just one of the things. Like Portland got one guy, while LA got two, so it's like
yeah.
can't.
I just think the rest of the roster around him. I mean, I think what he's doing is actually it's absolutely incredible because it's just not the best constructed roster. They're obviously hurting with injuries, right?
Yeah,
Zach Collins is the
Nurkic
new
still
Greg
out.
Oden. Yeah. So, um, Gary's telling me that Dorian Finney-Smith is out and Cauley Stein's out.
Oh yeah, I see Cauley Stein's out, James Johnson's out, Tyrell Terry's out. Yep, Finney Smith is out. So it'll be Josh Richardson and them guys.
Yeah. Does that change your pick at all?
No, not really.
All right. Yeah, he's not one that moves. But
And we still
thank you
got the
for
star
the
guys.
information. Gary, we love that you hang out with us here. I always see you in the chat of the Hardwood Live show as well. So you're definitely always helping out, bringing good mojo, as they like to say, and giving us the good info.
Got to
while
bring the good
we're
mojo.
running through this. Yeah, because especially when we're on, right? We can't get the breaking news as quickly as you guys can. So thank you very much for that, Gary. And Greg Russo has a request. He said, "Let's get to the best bets, Tyler.
He's not waiting around. He's like, let's go.
Got to give the people what they want. It's best bet time. Tyler, I don't love the board today, but I have a feeling that I'm going to love the play that you're going to give. I'm moving to my bookmaker right now so I can place the bet as you say it. What is the best bet, side, total, or prop for today's board?
I mean, that Jimmy look I really like. But I'm gonna roll with the under in the Phoenix game.
Wow.
We're gonna zigzag here and go. We took the over last night. We're gonna go under here.
Okay.
The total increase 3 points. I think Phoenix
30 or 2 right now. Is that the number we're giving it out at?
Yep. I think
Under
Phoenix blows them
232.
out here. I think they make it a key to lock one of them guys down and just stop the offense on Minnesota's side and force some of these role players to beat them, which won't work. I think Minnesota gets held under a like 105 here.
All right. I can't argue with you there. So the first bet will be under 232. I'm going over everything that I like so far. I'm choosing. So I lost a half point on the Magic while we're talking. That's down to plus 10. I do like the Heat at -4. Jazz is down to 3.5. That's indicating to me that they don't expect Rudy Gobert. I don't really know how to handicap that game with him out. I actually like getting the 5 more going against Gobert. That line move seems correct. Timberwolves catching 11 is also tempting, but you're right. The zigzag there is tough to handle. So talk to me, Tyler. Am I crazy if I take my hometown team, the Kings, +7? That's what's jumping out to me as the best bet. What do you think? Talk to me about it. Kings
I mean,
+7. Am I wild?
I don't mind it. It's just one of them spots where like Boston has all their backcourt guys back and healthy.
Uh-huh.
Sacramento doesn't play much defense. If them guys get going, it's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind Miami at that short 4. That was close to being my pick.
Yeah, I don't mind Miami either. Let's give out 3 best bets then. So I'll give out the Kings +7.
Oh, there's
And
blood all over the floor in this game.
oh, that Florida game, yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's do a joint pick, Tyler, since we don't have a guest today. The third pick will be Miami +4, and that'll be a, what do they like to say on Gambling Trader? A collaboration. Like it's like 2 artists working together to come up with a pick. Like I did a
Yep. A
collaboration.
collab.
It's like Heat -4, you know.
I'm game for that.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'll
All
give
right.
out one fun play since we gave out one yesterday and it hit. We'll go Jokic triple-double and Denver wins at +400.
Tyler, giving the people what they want. Greg Russo, do you hear?
Hey, I'm about to say, Greg, why does want to add Dallas in there? Greg's really begging for that Dallas play.
All right. He loves Dallas too.
I'm game for Dallas. They're going to win.
All right, we will have a lot in the Discord. Greg, thank you for helping out, for hanging out. Gary, other guys in the chat. Landa's in the chat with us as well. I see Anthony Brockman hanging out. Twatty was in there. Mr. New to Town. He's making
There's our guy
money off
Twatty.
cards and Bitcoin. I know he's doing a nice little challenge for himself there, so it's good to see Twatty. I know he's enjoying that. Ryan Paulina hanging out as well. So I wanted to thank you guys. Austin Young, KMB Squid, Kyle J. Guys, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, head on over to runpurebets.com, see all that we have to offer. Go ahead and use the promo code HEATER25 to take advantage. Join both sites. It's only $100 a month, but you will get the discount for the first month. You'll be able to follow the core plays of AP, Big T, JSU, JT Hayes, Titletown. All those guys allow you to make some winning lineups. You'll get bets from myself, from Tyler, from JJ, from the Sports Cake, from HTP, from Score with D. Joey Work also bringing it. He's doing the college basketball, Major League Baseball grind right now. So he is grinding. That is so many games. That is so many players to handicap. Joey Work doing the work for you, bringing you the winners. You'll have access to us in the Discord, access to all the live keg shows. He will be live tonight, tomorrow night for, is there UFC tomorrow night? There is, right? There's UFC like every weekend now.
Kevin Holland, Derek Brunson, main event.
Kevin Holland, Derek Brunson, main event. And then on Sunday, they've been going live, and he brings on Coop from the Run Pure Sports section, and they give you out NASCAR winners. If you are a member and you're like me and you don't watch NASCAR, guess what? You just turn your Discord notifications on. Jay sends the play out. You run over your computer. You place the bet. You don't even got to watch them drive in a circle. The money still cashes whether or not you watch the sport. So it's just fantastic stuff. Our guy Snyder's been killing the golf too. I mean, just so much great stuff going on. So please head on over to Run Pure Bets. Check it out. Promo code HEATER25. Tyler, Mr. Talkative, thank you for hanging out today. You got anything else before we get out of here?
Nope. I mean, we gave all the plays out, so now we just got to wait for the games to start.
Yeah, I mean, and most days, I'm waiting. I'm, doing the dishes, getting the house clean, doing the laundry. I got a chance to check out some college basketball, Tyler. And guess what? I don't know a lot about college basketball. So what did I do? I headed over to the Run Pure Bet site. I grabbed the plays from JJ, who has been watching, handicapping, and modeling the college basketball all year, doing the work for me. So up until my NBA sweats begin, because I got to get these NBA picks right. I can enjoy the college basketball and have smart, actionable information that I'm able to place my bets off. So not only can I enjoy watching these games of whom I have no idea who these players are, but I can make some money at the same time using the work of JJ and Joey Work. So head on over to runpurebets.com, promo code HEATER25. Thank you for joining us. Tyler and I will be back tomorrow morning at the same time. Run Pure.